What's going on, people? Mr. Anti-Lock here, back with the epicness that is Shokugeki no Soma, Chapter 100. And I am proud to say that Chapter 100 is pure epicness. We got two things in this chapter that Shokugeki no Soma loves to do, and it's not just the food, because the food is the most obvious thing there is. Their dishes are epic and real life shit. I've actually created a few of these dishes at home, being a chef and all, but I digress. Two things that Shokugeki no Soma loves to do is fan service slash the foodgasm. We got one of those this chapter. And the transition thing. Now, when I talk about the transition thing, when Kiba first went up against Akira, we got that Pokemon slash Yu-Gi-Oh reference in talking about the way that their palettes and their techniques work. And I think that's epic. And they did the same thing in this chapter, where it's though Kiba and Akira's palette and cooking techniques were compared to that of a shonen battle manga slash Soul Calibur slash Final Fantasy, because Kiba's techniques and palette were compared to that of a great sword, which remind me of Siegfried and Cloud. If you played those games, then you know who I'm talking about. And then we got Akira's techniques, who was compared to like a scimitar when he first started, and now his technique and palette was compared to that of a rapier. And we got that panel where he was pointing the rapier at Kiba's neck as he came to him with the greatsword. It has everything to do with Kiba's Cartuccio and Akira's Carpaccio. Now let's get into the epicness of Akira's Carpaccio. Not only did this man do an Italian presentation, but everybody thought it was an appetizer. Now, depending on where you are, Carpaccio can be served as a main course, depending on the portion size. But this man had a twist to it. This man pulled out the blowtorch, cranks up the blowtorch, and toasts the outside of the pike, aka the Pacific Soiree. Pure epicness. Now here we go. Kiba's all hype like, how are you gonna top me? I presented this great umami flavor with my herb butter and my bag of soup. Technically that's what it is. He did like a papio slash bag soup, but it was a cartuccio. It had all of the Italian techniques, but he left out the anchovy and added another little nuance to it, which made it an elegant dish. But it did not cause a foodgasm. It did give man service for you ladies out there. It did give the man service, lady fan service. But it did not bring Leonora to the point of foodgasm. What it did was she disrobed. And her version of disrobing was elegantly talking about the dish, which I found that epic in the last chapter, but I'm digressing. This man, not only did he blowtorch the Carpaccio, giving it a nice elegant crisp, he elegantly brushed it with a kaishi sauce, which is a mixture of soy sauce, mirin, and sake, which is Japanese rice wine. Just pure elegance. Like, now the thing about this dude, we all know that he's the spice god, but this time he just used a pinch of allspice, which brought up the freshness of the pike. The brushing sauce, the kaishi sauce he used, and the lightly toasting, which caramelizes and brings the sugar out of things when you sear them. So technically, it's not even fully cooked. He just toasted the spice and brown the sauce on top to give it that nice little bite. And I thought that was epic. And it literally, from the smell and look of the dish, brought Leonora to foodgasm. The moment we've been waiting for. Epicness. And that is the second thing that Shokugeki no Sama does. The fan service is just pure epicness, and we got to see Leonora's foodgasm, which, might I add, one of the caption boxes was blocking her vagina. I love how Shokugeki no Sama introduces things that block the body parts, that give you that once and like, oh, I want to see more feeling, you know? But that's Shokugeki no Sama. Besides the food, that's what makes this series epic. Going more into the transition thing, I thought it was pretty epic that we saw Setsuzaimon, Gin, and Leonora portrayed as dojo masters when we got that panel with Leonora with the bow and the pike was the arrow and she hit the bullseye. Like, basically their dishes was right on target. Epicness. You gotta love the transition game that Shokugeki no Sama brings to the table. It's not just a straight cooking slice of life manga. The author and the artist give you a vision of multiple things at once. That's what keeps you interested in the series, because you know either you're gonna get this ill transition into something that compares their techniques and powers to that of other series or other games or other things, but then you get that fan service where it's not too over the top. I think it's elegant the way Shokugeki no Sama portrays its fan service. I'm just saying. Moving on. Just when you look up into the sky and the moon is getting ready to move away from the site of the stadium, everybody's like, Soma, you gotta hurry up, bro. Like, the moon is about to fucking not be in your favor. And guess what? Right after Leonora has that foodgasm and everybody's pushing Soma to hurry up, my man Soma walks up. The closer. Pure epic chapter of Shokugeki no Sama. But the thing about it is, I have to say that if Soma wins this battle, it's gonna be very cliche and it's gonna be bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, for real, for real. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Soma always pulls his shit together at the last minute. You never know what Soma's gonna do, which makes him a very exciting character because he always has this depth of mystery to him. But if he wins this battle, I'll be shocked, I have to say. But I am curious to know what he did to his fish. What did he do to his pike to make it, that could possibly make it way more epic than these two guys? Nah, but your boy Kiba, what I thought was interesting about this chapter was that Kiba got so mad that he didn't think nothing was going to be able to top that Cartuccio. When Akira walked up with that Carpaccio and he toasted it just a little bit, he was pissed. Like, subscribe, comment. Peace.